The trailer for Detective Pikachu was recently released, and we're absolutely pumped for the movie. Loosely based on the video game of the same name that received generally favorable reviews, it's going to be fun for the whole family. But if you expect it to be a live-action version of a Pokemon anime movie, well, it's not going to quite play out like that. But before we get into all of the similarities and differences between Detective Pikachu and classic Pokemon, subscribe to CBR and ring that bell to join our notification squad so you never miss any of our Pokemon videos. Scheduled to be released on May the 10th, 2019, Detective Pikachu has got people all around the world dying to see the live-action Pokemon movie. There's never been one before, but we have high hopes and expectations for the film that has Ryan Reynolds voicing Detective Pikachu and Justice Smith playing Tim Goodman. Just like in the video game, Detective Pikachu, that was released in Japan in 2016 and the rest of the world in 2018, Detective Pikachu and Tim Goodman work together to solve cases in Rhyme City, a place where people and Pokemon live in harmony without the constraints of a Pokeball. In the movie, Tim is working as an insurance agent, but in the game, he's just a student applying to Rhyme University. So it seems like Tim is older in the movie since he has a full-time job and everything. In both the movie and the games, Tim is looking for his dad, Harry Goodman, who disappeared after he got into a car accident in Rhyme City 2 months before Tim got there. Something is just fishy about the whole thing. So Tim works with the talkative Detective Pikachu and the Rhyme City Detective Agency to search for clues to find his father. Just like in the game, Pikachu can talk to Tim, but no one else can understand Pikachu. That being said, there's a difference in how they meet each other. In the game, Pikachu just ends up meeting Tim around Rhyme City, but in the movie, Tim first encounters Pikachu scurrying around his house like the little electric mouse he is. Pikachu's ability to speak is not common in the Pokemon world at all. Sure, trainers could understand what their Pokemon are trying to say, but Pokemon typically don't speak languages that humans do. Yeah, there's Meowth from the anime who speaks English with his weird Bugs Bunny-ish voice, but that's about it. It's funny that no one could understand Detective Pikachu besides the Goodmans for whatever reason. Maybe they're Pokemon whisperers? Who are we kidding? We're not going to come up with theories already. That'll be for another video. It also seems like the Hi Hat Cafe, where Pikachu and Tim loved to spend some time and drink coffee in the game, will be featured in the film since you can see it on the poster for the movie. It also looks like Jigglypuff is in the Hi Hat Cafe in the trailer when she put someone to sleep with her beautiful song. We're just saying that to make her feel better. Her singing is actually horrendous. If you didn't know, Pikachu's a bit of a caffeine addict, which is why he's got plenty of energy throughout the trailer. Well, except when he's being carried by Tim in the short scene in the trailer with all the Bulbasaur. One thing that stands out right away is how many Pokemon there are in the trailer. We counted over 60 Pokemon making an appearance from all different generations of Pokemon. It's beautiful to see all these Pokemon living peacefully, and it truly makes the Pokemon world feel connected with them all in one place. It just brings a tear to our eye, and we want to live in Rhyme City so bad it's not even funny. One big difference between the film compared to the game is one of the characters. In the movie, Tim and Pikachu meet Lucy Stevens, played by Kathryn Newton, who's a reporter with a trusty Psyduck, which seems to act a lot like the one Misty has in the anime. The Psyduck looks a little goofy, but seems to let go of all that pent-up psychic power inside of it to create a huge explosion near the end of the trailer, just like Misty's was known for. It's definitely much stronger than it looks, there's no doubt about that. We're sure Lucy will have a big role in the film, but she's never been mentioned in any Pokemon games, so she's a completely new addition to the Pokemon cinematic universe. In the Detective Pikachu game, Rhyme City isn't a place where Pokemon are allowed to battle. There's not supposed to be any fighting whatsoever in Rhyme City, and Pokemon are typically treated like pets and companions instead of creatures that do battle against each other. It seems like there's no capturing Pokemon or anything like that since we don't see any Pokeballs in Rhyme City in the trailer. So how exactly do people obtain Pokemon? Well, do they catch them and then keep them out of the Pokeball, or do they buy them like at a pet shop? Whatever the answer may be, Tim doesn't have to worry about any of that because Detective Pikachu was his dad's partner. Usually, once you're 10 years old, you get a starter Pokemon at your local lab and train Pokemon in the hopes of one day becoming the Pokemon champion. This didn't happen for Tim though. Supposedly, Tim wanted to be a Pokemon trainer, but for whatever reason, it just didn't happen for him, and he ended up working as an insurance agent, as we mentioned before. He decided not to become a Pokemon trainer and took on a desk job before being sent on this journey to find his dad with Detective Pikachu. It's a much different story than the one told in the anime and in the video games that tugs at your heartstrings and makes for a more relatable story. Speaking of not being able to fight in Rhyme City, in the trailer, it looks like that's exactly what Charizard and Pikachu are doing with spectators and a big screen in the background. Charizard even flies up in the air and looks like he's going to take a bite out of Pikachu at the end of the trailer. We saw plenty of posters in the trailer advertising Pokemon fights, which makes it seem like being a Pokemon trainer is a sport in Rhyme City and not quite something everyone does like in the game or the anime. If this isn't clear enough already, just take a look at Tim's room. It's actually not a mess. What a good kid. And has plenty of championship posters around his room that look like Super Bowl posters with their Roman numerals. Among all these posters are missing posters for a few Pokemon, including Charizard and Squirtle. The fact that Pokemon seem to be disappearing from a peaceful place like Rhyme City, along with Tim's father Harry, means there might be something more sinister going on. We don't know if Team Rocket has anything to do with it because they're known for stealing rare and valuable Pokemon. But there might be a dark side to Rhyme City that may have something to do with the underground Pokemon fighting ring we alluded to earlier. In the trailer, we also see Tim look at the train ticket he bought to get him from his hometown all the way to Rhyme City. On the ticket, it says he departed from Leaventown, which is a fictional city that most likely will only get mentioned in this movie. No, it's probably not going to be a town full of leaves in Generation 8 where you'll find the grass-type gym leader. That's not the pun they're trying to make at all, and we hope Nintendo is more creative than that. He was leaving town for Rhyme City. Get it? Leaving town? Leaving town? Okay, we're sure you do. Not all jokes will just be little innocent puns though. This is a Ryan Reynolds movie we're talking about here, so it's not all going to be as friendly as the rest of the Pokemon franchise. He's been making dirty jokes in rom-coms for as long as we can remember, and oh yeah, he plays Deadpool, who's known as the Merc with a mouth for a reason. Now, of course, we don't expect F-bombs and an R rating for Detective Pikachu, but we don't think it'll be all sunshine and rainbows either. There will be some adult jokes that only the parents who have to bring their kids to the theater will understand. Just like in the anime, we love that this film will allow us to see the personality of certain Pokemon. The part of the trailer where Pikachu's interrogating Mr. Mime was not only hilarious, but it shows us that each Pokemon has their own unique personality that'll shine throughout the movie. Whether it's Mr. Mime telling Pikachu to shove it, Pikachu's addiction to caffeine, or Psyduck's general awkwardness, there's a true character behind each and every Pokemon in the film, just like in the anime. That being said, it's much easier to show the personality of Pokemon in media like film and television, but very difficult to transmit this personality into the Pokemon video games. In the games, you just hear their cries and they each have their own natures. But it doesn't really affect anything in the game. Their lax nature won't make them fall asleep in battle, and their naive nature won't make them believe everything at face value. Natures are just added into the game to slightly alter the stats of your Pokemon, that's it. If you stop and think about it, Detective Pikachu isn't the first time we've seen a variant of Pikachu. He's the mascot of Pokemon, so of course, he'll have to change his look every once in a while. We've seen Surf Pikachu in the Pikachu's Beach minigame of Pokemon Yellow, on the beach level of Pokemon Snap in the anime, and in the manga. It's definitely his most popular variant. We've even seen Flying Pikachu with a bunch of balloons making him float, the female cosplay Pikachu in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and Cap Pikachu, which is, well, Pikachu wearing a cap. He's a very fashionable Pokemon who looks great wearing pretty much anything, so we're not surprised to see him look dapper with a detective's cap on, and we can't wait to see the movie in theaters this summer. Those were just some of the similarities and differences between Detective Pikachu and classic Pokemon. Are there any that we may have missed? Are you as excited for the movie as we are? Let us know in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching.